41,000 dislikes to 5.6. Oh, we are so cooked.
I remember playing Apex Legends when it came out, how much fun I had playing with friends, the endless content that was pushed out, and the multitude of characters that were in the game or even added later on. For a little bit, Apex Legends broke the stigma that battle royales were killing the video game industry, but just as quickly as it rose to fame, it quickly turned into an infamous game that drove away not only the community, but even the content creators tied to the once beloved game. The game's downfall was hard to ignore. At first it was praised for its fresh take on the battle royale genre, but soon the issues piled up. Server instability, game-breaking bugs, and exploits became common, making it frustrating to play. The developers struggled to keep up, and their lack of communication left players feeling ignored. As these problems persisted, people started to leave, and negative reviews began to overshadow the once glowing ones. New content often fell flat or brought more issues, pushing the community further away. Content creators who have been crucial to the game's success started abandoning it for stable options, taking their fans with them. This exodus hit the game's visibility and reputation hard, leading to a steady drop in ratings and a once thriving game losing its spark. But how did we end up at this point? For that, we had to go to the beginning. Developer Respawn Entertainment had previously developed Titanfall and its sequel, Titanfall 2, in 2014 and 2016 respectively, both of which were published by Electronic Arts, who eventually acquired Respawn Entertainment in 2017. According to the design director, Mackie McCandlish, initial design of Apex Legends started before Titanfall 2 had shipped in 2016, and as of 2018, the entire Titanfall team at Respawn Entertainment was working on Apex Legends. However, executive producer Drew McCoy stated that work on the game did not begin until the spring of 2017. He also confirmed that the game had approximately 115 developers working on it, making it the studio's most labor-intensive project. Titanfall 2, by way of comparison, had around 85 developers. Titanfall's community frustration with Apex Legends stemmed from feeling abandoned by Respawn. Fans felt that the development and success of Apex Legends came at the expense of the Titanfall series, which had not received the post-launch support and new content that they had hoped for. The lack of iconic features like Titans and wall running in Apex Legends disappointed those expecting a continuation of the Titanfall experience. Miscommunication and broken promises about the future of Titanfall added to the sense of betrayal. The shift in Respawn's priorities toward the more commercially viable battle royale genre of Apex Legends, driven by financial incentives rather than a commitment to the original franchise, left fans feeling neglected. The differences in gameplay and focus further alienated those who loved Titanfall's unique mechanics, leading to resentment toward Apex Legends as a game that diverted attention from a beloved series. According to McCoy, the studio was not sure what their next game would be after completing the post-release support for Titanfall 2, though they knew they wanted to keep making Titanfall games. As with the development of Titanfall 2, the studio broke into several small teams to create action blocks, small game prototypes that showcase a gameplay element, a weapon, or similar feature of a game that would fit into a Titanfall sequel. One such action block was inspired by the success of the battle royale game genre led by PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds, also known as PUBG. This prototype, which applied gameplay mechanics of previous Titanfall games in a battle royale format, was considered very successful, and the studio decided to expand this model. The designers decided that having the pilotable Titans from their previous games would not work as well in a battle royale setting, and instead focused on creating strong character classes which felt appropriate for the Titanfall franchise. They also found out that maneuverability features of prior Titanfall titles such as wall running would make gameplay too challenging in a battle royale format, as identifying the direction of threats would be too difficult. Respawn Entertainment CEO Vince Zampella told VentureBeat that Apex Legends as a live service and free-to-play battle royale game was a new challenge for the studio and represented a new way for them of developing games. Their design philosophy was focused on chasing the fun and designing all the mechanics around team-based play, rather than solo play. The final decision on major design factors such as the size of the teams, the number of teams, and the size of the map were all based on what felt most fun to the developers and were strongly guided by gut feeling. Design director Mackie McCandlish also stated that with Apex Legends, they were looking to challenge the conventions of the still relatively young battle royale genre, and to add their studio's unique touch to that class of games. They felt that the choice of 3-man squads and a limit of 20 teams gave players on average a greater chance to win, and also felt more in line with the type of intimate gameplay that they were hoping to achieve. McCandlish claimed that the studio felt that they needed to create a defensible space in the battle royale mode which could not be easily imitated, and that the communication system, the 3-man squads, and the smaller playing area were all aligned with this goal. As part of the development process, the game underwent extensive playtesting to ensure all the elements felt fun and balanced. Collectively, the developers spent 100 to 200 hours a day trying out the game, a process which executive producer Drew McCoy called probably the most important part of development. To refine the game's nonverbal communication system, the studio playtested the game for a month without the use of voice chat and applied fake names to the playtesters to predict how most players would experience the game. With the game mostly completed, Respawn's director of brand marketing, Arturo Castro, began working on how the studio would name and market it. Castro recognized that the game featured many elements what players would expect from a Titanfall franchise game, but lacked core elements such as Titans, pilots, and a single-player experience. Additionally, it had already been reported that Respawn was working on Titanfall 3 from a source at the studio. Respawn therefore decided that attempting to market the game as part of the Titanfall series would have been difficult, and would risk alienating Titanfall fans even more. They, therefore, opted to treat the game as a new intellectual property. Respawn were also concerned as they, at the time, were recently acquired by EA. Players would think that EA had forced them to make a battle royale game. McCoy affirmed that they had to convince Electronic Arts to allow him to make this game. Quote, "We decided to make this game. Not to be throwing EA under the bus, but this wasn't a game that they were expecting. I had to go to the executives, show it to them, and explain it. Not to convince it, but more say, hey, trust us, this is the thing you want out of us. This is a game where we want to say, this is what we want to do, help us get there." Concerned that a standard 6-month marketing campaign for the game would have generated negative publicity from disgruntled Titanfall players, Castro claims that they eventually took inspiration from musical artist Beyonce, whose release of her self-titled album came to a surprise of fans, a strategy which proved financially successful. Wanting to generate some buzz about this new product before its release, the studio secretly arranged for about 100 social media influencers to travel to their studios to try the game, and then instructed them to tease news of it on their social media accounts during halftime of Super Bowl 53. Respawn CEO Vince Zampella felt that the approach was gross, according to Castro that he found it reminiscent of the infamous Fire Festival hype, which later turned out to be a fraudulent event. However, as Apex Legends was already ready for release at this point, Castro felt the approach was an appropriate marketing strategy. Because of the game's performance in terms of player count and viewership on streaming devices, Castro felt vindicated in this decision. This approach was so unorthodox that it wasn't done in any other EA title beforehand. On July 8th, EA and Respawn Entertainment introduced a new Apex Legends Battle Pass system for Season 22. But after many of the new Battle Pass changes proved unpopular, especially with over 70,000 negative reviews on Steam within a week's span, Respawn apologized for its handling of this shift and made some quote-unquote changes in response to its criticism. The initial Battle Pass changes meant that instead of a single season Battle Pass, there would be 2 Battle Passes for each split of the season, and either would be able to be purchased with the premium in-game currency Apex Coins. As a result, players could no longer spend Apex Coins from previous Battle Passes on the next season. EA did clarify that players could unlock the first half of Season 22's premium Battle Pass rewards by completing a set of challenges in the first 2 weeks of launch, but no further details were explained at the time. Splitting the Battle Pass into 2 also meant doubling the cost of the total money spent for the full season, adding up to the $20 for both Premium and $40 for Premium Plus. This was met with negative feedback from the community, and Apex Legends Steam store page has been flooded with 76,872 mostly negative reviews at the time of me recording this video, and it's probably climbed to over 80,000 at this point. Respawn released an update changing the structure of Battle Passes, apologizing for poor handling of the previous announcement. The Battle Passes remain at 2 for each season, but the latest changes restored the ability for players to purchase the Premium Battle Pass with 950 Apex Coins. There are now 2 new Battle Pass tiers called Ultimate and Ultimate Plus. Ultimate is nearly the same as Premium, but costs $10 and cannot be purchased with Apex Coins. It gives players all the Premium rewards and an additional instant unlock of 8 Apex packs and 1,200 crafting materials. Ultimate Plus is the highest tier of the Battle Pass, including all the previous rewards seen in the Ultimate and Premium, but with double the exotic shards, 2 exclusive Legendary skin variants, 8 Apex packs, 1,200 crafting materials, 10 Battle Pass level unlocks, and the unlocking of every legend in the game. This costs $20 and also cannot be purchased with Apex Coins. Respawn also stated that with Season 22, through the first split, every player would be able to earn the Premium Battle Pass by completing a series of simple in-game challenges. IGN recently sat down with Steven Ferreira to discuss the recent changes to the Battle Pass and Respawn's future plans for the Apex community. Ferreira explained that the motivation behind updating the Battle Pass design was to address 2 main issues: player engagement and the perceived value of the Battle Pass content. The old Battle Pass, which spanned 90 days, was challenging for players to complete, as many were not engaging with it consistently over that period. Recognizing that players engage with multiple games and not just Apex Legends, Respawn aimed to make the Battle Pass more accessible and better suited to the actual playing habits of their community.
It's a bold strategy, Cotton. Let's see if it pays off for them.
But people could see clearly through Respawn's facade, as they only backtracked from the Premium Bundle. While the Premium Bundle was now able to be purchased with Apex Coins, the more expensive bundles were still only accessible by buying them with real money. In the video game industry, this tactic is called moving the goalpost. I don't know if that's the actual saying, but go with me here. Players felt that Respawn were merely shifting their strategy rather than addressing the core issue of aggressive monetization. This move seemed like a superficial concession to placate the community while still prioritizing profit over satisfaction. The perception that Respawn was not genuinely listening to player concerns further fueled frustration and distrust within the Apex community. This was not the only thing that drove away the Apex Legends community, as cheating became a widespread epidemic. Rampant cheating and hacking undermined the integrity of the game, making it difficult for honest players to enjoy a fair and competitive experience. Despite efforts to combat these issues, the persistent presence of cheaters created a toxic environment that drove many players away. The combination of monetization controversies and ongoing cheating problems significantly contributed to the decline of player trust and engagement, leaving the once thriving Apex community feeling disillusioned and abandoned by their own creator. Not to mention the multiple occasions that pro players got hacked during the Apex Legends Global Series regional finals, immediately disqualifying the teams that got sabotaged. Which brings up an interesting Steam post talking about cheating in Apex by Brick_Legend. A YouTube video from pro Apex Legends players show how hard it is to actually identify a cheater. From SteamCharts.com and Battlelog.co, I have gotten the amount of members in their cheater community is 92.3% of Apex Legends' top 24 hours player peak. Of course, the amount of members is for the whole website, but it's quite a lot. Also on SkyCheats, there are hundreds of players who recently went through their website to look at or get cheats. On Lavi Cheats, within an hour, 7 players have joined their cheater community. On Cosmo Cheats, there are 24,667 members of their cheater community. I also found a crap ton of YouTube vids, hundreds of them, showing you how to create your own cheats or get them. On UnknownCheats.me, there are millions, 3 million of views for their announcements. On Cheater.fun, there's 137,847 viewers on one of their posts. On Wallhacks, there are 493,397 members. I found at least 50 other website cheater communities and they all had some verification, but I didn't trust them, so I didn't go on to them. The amount of players on these sites is really sad for me to see, and I just want people to be honest and stop cheating, but I know that's not going to happen. It just seems that time and time and again, no matter how much Respawn says that they're fixing the issues that so many people complain about, it seems like it's no use. Which brings us to what happens as a result of these issues persisting non-stop over the last couple years, as multiple YouTubers who specialized in Apex Legends decided to quit, stating that the game was broken, had no support, or even going as far as saying the game is just boring now, especially with the lack of content in the last year. This includes YouTubers like Wappy, Misery, Mangoes and Trees, Trunum, and even people like Imperial Hall and Nathan are saying that the game is in a very bad state, and they don't know if continuing to play the game would be beneficial for their careers. Seeing Apex slowly fade away from relevance, even though it was preventable so many times, is very disappointing to me. It was supposed to be the one main game that changed the stigma around the Battle Royale genre. It had so many opportunities to improve and be better. Respawn just didn't care about the community, only their bottom line. Every time there was a chance to fix things, to listen to players, or to add critical issues, it felt like Respawn chose profit over the well-being of the game and its community. This neglect and short-sightedness not only tarnished the game's reputation, but also squandered the potential Apex Legends had to be a lasting and beloved title in the gaming world. And I know people are going to be talking to me and defending Apex by saying stuff like, look, they collabed with Epic Games, you should give them a chance, maybe this is sort of going to correct the ship. And I'm not ready to do that yet, especially when the starter packs are trash. The skins have had a massive fall off when the game first started, and everything else about the game, like I said before, is literally ruining the game as we speak. And unless they show me it, I'm not going to trust it. And this update in this season is probably going to be the immediate downfall of Apex Legends. Quick side note, one of my viewers actually sent me a thumbnail that they wanted me to use for the video, and here's the thumbnail. It's beautiful. Thank you, Coyote. Okay, now let's finish the video. But I wanted to thank you guys so much for watching the video. We hit 800 subscribers. God, that was cringe. But seriously, thank you guys so much for all the support recently. Your love and support really helps me keep going as a content creator. And I love you all so much. And let me know what your thoughts on this whole entire situation is below. I would love to hear your thoughts on it. And make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. And hit that bell for future notifications. And I will see you guys next time. Peace.